Hi everybody. I want to start off by saying that I'm so grateful beyond words on how many people have watched that first video that I posted, the 12-minute video welcoming people in. All the videos. Especially that first one, more people have seen that than I thought would, and it's amazing. Thank you so much to everyone that has subscribed to this channel. It's amazing. It's more than I thought, and I'm really thankful for that. The last video that I posted it abruptly ended. It was poor quality. I was just trying to answer some questions that had been asked, all the same questions. So I felt it important to do that. But the quality was bad, and I'm kind of regretting it. But it is what it is. I'm learning. I just wanted to. I've been asked, and I've seen some comments. One in particular, like asking what this channel's about. And I feel that maybe I didn't make it clear, because I'm just kind of, like I said, I'm learning, and so I wanted to talk about that briefly. What I'm trying to do with this is, I've come to realize that not everybody has friends to the extent that they can be completely open and honest with. Through talking to people, through asking the right questions, through watching interviews and documentaries and stuff, it seems that not everybody has the luxury of an unbiased audience. And I mean that in the way of like how I have Daniel, who I interviewed or talked to. It wasn't a very good interview. I've never interviewed someone before, so that was the best I had at the time. But in me realizing and learning that not everybody has a safe space to share and to be vulnerable, I thought that maybe I could create that space where I could show you my vulnerabilities and I can be honest and take accountability for things, and then I can bring other people on who will do the same. I think that this channel could provide a place where people can come and be a part of something special and see that they're not alone in their daily insecurities. They're not alone in their small or big failures, not alone in their victories as well. This channel isn't for just sad stories. This channel is going to be for growth and understanding, and I think love more than anything. You're gonna see me share a space for love, and I feel that that's important. I don't think that there's enough of that out there. But as a viewer, I hope to give you something that maybe you don't have, or maybe you just want more of. As a man, I know that I didn't always have people in my life who I could go to and say, hey, this happened, and it made me feel inadequate, and my girlfriend said this and it hurt my feelings, or even to my friend, hey, this, you did this and it made me feel this way, and I feel I wouldn't do that to you. Can we talk about it? Can we work through it? These are just small examples, but my goal is to create a place that anything goes, and it's okay. I want to show people that I want to show you that you are the hero in this story. This is not a video blog about Jack in my everyday life. That's not what this is. This is about you having a place to go to listen and to watch raw life. And I hope, I pray that you guys and girls participate in it by commenting, by shooting me an email. When I'm able to, if this works and YouTube allows me to, if enough people subscribe, it will allow me to do a live stream where I can do this live and people can write in a question, or I could bring you up on the screen and we can chat. Like that's the stuff that I would really like to do. I would really like to interact with people on a human level. I want people to have a place where they can go and be honest and see things that maybe they don't see in their everyday life. Because I think that that's meaningful. And I think it can be beautiful, and I think it can help people work through the monotony of daily life these days. Things can get pretty dim. Scrolling through social media and stuff, and I'm on it. I do it. I know these things because I participate in them. You know, I'll get stuck scrolling on social media for hours sometimes. I'll watch shows that I really have no interest in. I get stuck in those things all the time too. But again, this isn't about me. I am putting content on here to let people know who I am, so that they can decide whether or not they want to invest the time to watch what I put on here. I feel like that's fair for me to at least let you know who I am, so you can make an educated decision on whether or not you want to follow my channel and watch what I put out. But again, this is not about me. I'm trying to bring it to you in hopes that it helps somehow. I hope that somehow me talking about my childhood and the things that I went through, or me sharing about my addiction and all the treatment centers that I've been to, me sharing about a failed marriage, me sharing about the things that I have experience with. I want to share them with you in hopes that we can find a common ground. It's not about the experiences that I speak about. It's more about the feelings that are attached to them. It's more about the feelings that I had to deal with from the trauma. So it's probably a poor analogy, but let's say I was in a car wreck and I broke my hip, and a viewer who is older broke their hip because they fell. I want to reach that person speaking about recovering from that broken hip. It's not about the car accident. It's not about what happened to cause the pain. It's about how we worked through that pain that we both felt. Although the path to the pain was different, the pain itself and what we can do to overcome that, I feel, is a common ground and is the same. So, I have a really good friend who went to war and has PTSD from that. I have PTSD from sexual abuse as a kid. Now, although those are two very different paths, we both ended up with post-traumatic stress disorder. We were both affected after the trauma, post-traumatic. We were affected in our daily lives by what we experienced. And they're completely different, but our behaviors afterwards and the feelings that are associated with them are very similar. And the commonalities is what I want to touch on. I want to bring you and I and anyone else together in here, if possible. And maybe that's a lofty goal. I don't know. This is new. I'm not a professional video maker. I'm not a professional editor. I'm not a public speaker. I decided that I wanted to do this, and I just am hoping that people will decide that they want to do it with me. And if it works, I'll be able to get all sorts of different people on here. I'm going to start with people that I know and that I respect and who have great stories. Profound things. People experience profound things and they make it through. People go through horrible times and they come out stronger. And I can't stress it enough that I just want people to understand that it's okay to show love. And in order to do that, we got to heal. I had to heal from a lot of things. I'm not healed or cured. I'm a work in progress. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy that wants to share with you, and I hope that you share with me. And I can't tell you how amazing it is to see that people have watched some of my videos. It's mind-boggling to me, and it means so much. I'm so happy that you are here. Anyone watching this, I'm so happy. I think I've replied to every comment that someone has left, and I plan on doing that. I plan on continuing that. Thank you. Thank you for checking this out. I wanted to let my guard down a little bit and talk about stuff that happened when I was younger. If you saw the Soft White Underbelly interview, you know some of it. But I was a young boy when I started to be exposed to sexual abuse. And it caused a lot of issues in my life. I mean, up to today. I'm 39. These things started happening when I was around 4. And it shaped my brain in a way that causes me some difficulties still. I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of therapy, step work, group therapy. I think self-awareness and self-realization has helped me the most to understand that, like, things that happen are just things that happen, and it doesn't mean that I wasn't chosen because I was bad or chosen because I was weak. I was chosen because I was chosen. But it's caused me to fail in a lot of relationships, both with men and women. It's caused me to be a bad friend. It's caused me to be a bad boyfriend or partner. And I think that that's okay to talk about. I think it's okay to admit that I didn't know how to receive a woman being sexual with me properly because of what happened to me when I was younger. And unfortunately, I think a lot more people can relate to that than should be able to relate to that. It's really unfortunate how common it is that happens. But I'm okay. I'm not one of those people that, although I'm happy with who I am today, I'm not one of those people that would be like, if I could go back, I would let the same things happen to me. I'm not super happy that I've had to fight through the things that I've had to fight through. I'm not happy about that part of it. I am happy with who I am today. I'm happy that I've had to really work on who I am and who I was, because I wasn't the greatest guy. I'm not the greatest guy. I'm better today than I ever was, I think, because of the work that I've done and the accountability that I've taken. But I've caused a lot of harm to a lot of people, but I don't now. Once I took accountability for my actions and let go and gave up the right to retaliation to people who had harmed me in the past, once I did those things, my life changed drastically. My heart changed, which I think for me is the most important thing. So like I needed to change inside, and I call it my heart. Inside of me had to change. For a long time I was okay with being hurt and angry. Like I really wish that person would die. So I'll just give you an example. The man who hurt me when I was a kid, I really wanted him to die. Bob Dacey. Like for a long time I wanted him to die because he hurt me. But I was okay with wanting him to die because I wasn't gonna kill him. So I was like, well, I want him to die, but I'm not gonna kill him, so I'm not a murderer, so like I'm okay. But as time went on, I wasn't okay with him renting that space, clogging up my emotions like that. I didn't want to hate him anymore. I was okay with hating him as long as I didn't act on the hate, but then at some point I wasn't okay with hating him inside. I wanted it gone. And so the change had to be inside my heart. Like I had to change something in order to be able to release that. Like I don't want the hate in my heart because it gets in the way of how I feel towards other people. Like, so he was a teacher and a coach, my coach and my teacher. And my hate for him caused me to hate other coaches and other teachers just because they were coaches or teachers. It had nothing to do with who they were and how they treated me. The hatred that I had for him in my heart, it just the hate got misguided. And I got sick of bleeding on people who hadn't cut me, if that makes any sense. And so I had to do some work to change my heart. And I had to, like I said a minute ago, I had to give up the right to retaliation. I had to forgive that man for what happened because he was broken. And I'm not saying that what he did was okay because he was broken. I'm saying that I just had to forgive him in order for me to heal. And by forgiveness, I don't mean I had to like him again or I had to no longer be disgusted at what he did. I just mean that I had to give up the right to retaliation. I had to just understand and internalize that humans hurt people, man. And he hurt me. And that's okay. And once I was able, which was not easy, it took years and years, but once that happened with him, my early teens, from like 13 to 15, I wasn't able to like really forgive him. I said I forgave him to his face when I was in my early 20s. But it wasn't until I think I was around 31-ish where I wrote a letter. It was suggested to me to write a letter to him. He had taken his own life in a holding cell long before this, but when I came to California, it was suggested to me to write a letter to him. So I did that. And then I asked another man who was in the program, the treatment facility that I was in, I asked him if he would come to the fire that was burning outside. I remember it was in the Joshua Tree Desert. I asked another man if he would come with me to read this letter out loud because I wanted somebody else to hear it. It was suggested that I do that. And so just me and another man around my age at that time went to next to the campfire. I read this note out loud and then I threw it in the fire. And it wasn't like it wasn't lifted at that moment. I felt lighter. But then we had a sweat lodge either that night or maybe the next day. And in a sweat lodge, you, I guess they might be done differently in different places, but you lift people up and you pray to things. And so I prayed for him. I prayed for forgiveness to come into my heart. And I prayed for him, and because he was a sick man that did some sick things, but I didn't want the hatred in me anymore, and that helped. There was no like instant moment where everything was lifted, but in doing these things, I was able to be set free from that hatred in my heart, and it just allowed more space for patience and tolerance and love to grow. And again, I'm not this saint that's always patient and that accepts everybody for who they are. And I try to the best of my willingness on any given day at any given moment. I try. I do try. But I'm a decent man. I try to be a good friend. I just really invite you into this. What I'm doing here, what we're doing, I really invite you to come in with an open mind and to be curious. It won't be, I'm not going to have the most exciting stuff on the whole internet on this, but you won't be turned away. This isn't a place where you'll be made fun of or ostracized, or you're not going to be asked for anything. It's just going to be a safe place to come and listen and watch and be a part of and share. That's all I'm trying to do. I want people to understand that they're not alone, and that it's okay, or for me anyway, it's okay to be strange. It's okay to be weird. It's okay to say what's on your mind as long as it's not hurting other people, I'm not intentionally, I don't intentionally hurt people. I don't lie to people. But I just really wanted to touch on those few things. And there'll be more. And I have to say that I appreciate everybody that has taken the time to watch my videos, and especially people who subscribed and left comments. It means a lot to me. And I will show you that by responding. I will reply to your comments. Even if it's not nice, I'll reply. And I will be nice. And I'll thank you for being here. I hope to see more people in here. And I will see you again soon. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone that's here.